Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to take you through some Christian fiction books. You may have already seen my video, Christian books to read in 2022, I think it was. We have stacks and stacks and stacks of books because we just absolutely love reading, especially me. And I especially love Christian fiction. I feel like with fiction, you just really learn people's behavior, people's hearts. I feel like I learn a lot through fiction about even just how God works in our life, going through something similar to the character or at least similar emotions to the character, and just how God kind of weaves into their lives. I don't know, there's so much. I feel like Rosanna had an awesome quote. So here's what she said. Fiction is a way to express mankind's deepest heart, his fears, his hopes, his failings, his successes. Fiction is truth in a pretty wrapping. And I thought that was so good. And that's why I just love fiction so much. So let's get started. I'm only gonna share with you a few. There's so many Christian fiction books that I absolutely love. But if you want to keep updated with me, you can go and follow me on Goodreads. And I can also do some more videos if you're interested in it as well. So I'll just share with you what I've been reading recently, especially that I am in love with and I think you have to read too. So let's start off with Rosanna White, who I just said, The Lost Heiress. This is the Ladies of the Manor series. I am in love. This is definitely one of my favorite series ever. It's about Brooke, who happens to live in Monaco. Her friend Justin finds out that she is a missing heiress from Yorkshire. So she travels back to Yorkshire, and her dad is so quick to believe her, but the servants and the people of Whitby Park are not. So the mystery of her mom's death haunts her, and it's only when her life is actually threatened that people start to really come behind her. But will their loyalty be too late to save her from the same tragedy that hit her mom? So it is gripping, it is amazing. You also follow through Justin's life. He is an heir to the dukedom. That is so fascinating, just watching them two together, and you know, they're best friends, they grew up together. So there is romance. It is a page turner because you're like, I need to find out what happens next. There's so many little bits of faith that she weaves in that is just so precious, and she has so many golden nuggets. So I absolutely love this series. I've got two more series by Rosanna White that I've read that I absolutely love. So this one here, so we've got A Name Unknown. This is Shadows over England. So this whole series follows this family of thieves around in London. They aren't blood, but they found each other on the streets and then became a family. So Mr. V hires Rosemary as kind of like a spy to figure out whether Peter's loyalties lie, he's a wealthy gentleman, and whether his loyalties lie with Germany or France. Gosh, what is wrong with me? With Germany or Britain. And it's just so fascinating because it's right around the start of the World War I. And then the rest of the books follow along the different characters that you find out of her family. And it's just so fascinating, so gripping, so good, such a page turner. It made me learn a lot about World War I. The third book especially really challenged me. It's Barclay's story, and just how much he just takes people in and really just takes Jesus's words to love the orphan and the widows and the, you know, the prisoners, etc. He just gives of himself, and how it really challenged me to think, how do we do that in our daily lives today, you know? And it's just really challenging. And then it goes on to, I would recommend, of course, reading Shadows over England first, because you meet all of these characters. But then we've got the Codebreakers, and this is fascinating. So Margot is one of the characters' sisters in the Shadows over England series, and we follow her, and she is an absolute genius, and she is hired to be a code breaker, intercepting any German messages and stuff. Drake also is an intelligence agent, and he's wounded from the field. But then Margot's life is turned upside down, and Drake has a spy out to destroy him, and they have to work together to save everybody, and it's just amazing. It is so good. Okay, so next is Lisa Berggren. I can't remember whether I mentioned Waterfall or not. It's a teen fiction, which is amazing. It's about these two American teenagers who are visiting Italy, and then they go into a cave and find handprints, and they're like, oh, what's that? And they put their hand on it, and it actually transports them back in time in Italy, and it's so fascinating that I just loved. When I first started reading it, I was a little bit like, is this too teen-y for me? But after the first 3 chapters, I was so hooked that I read it in, I think, like 2 days. And then I've read all of the other books since then. And it's just so, so good. Oh my goodness, Gabrielle Meyer, insane, just amazing. This was my book of the year last year, this one and the second one. I literally can't wait for the third one to come out. It's coming out next month. And I'm just like, I can't wait. I've never read anything like this. I just love the premise, haven't seen anything like it, which is amazing. Here's the thing, this is a time split narrative, but this is about Libby, who happens to be gifted 2 lives by God, one in 1914, one in 1774, and then at her 21st birthday, she has to choose which one is she gonna stay in. And so what happens is every day and night, whenever she falls asleep, she wakes up in the next era, and then she does the whole day there. So essentially she never loses time in any of them. And it's just so fascinating because you're like split between both times, and you're like, oh, which one is she gonna choose? Which one? And then obviously you're rooting for her. There's romance. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I have never been so much on the edge of my seat like I have with this book. It just throws you so much, and it has the most satisfactory ending, and I just can't recommend it enough. Then the second one is so great as well, but I don't want to ruin the second one for you because this really leads on to it. So this is my book of the year last year, and you have to read it. If you want to see more, comment down below. And I want to know, what are your favorite Christian fiction books too? Yeah, because I'm always on the lookout. I'm nearly like, what happens when I read all my favorite authors and then I don't know where else to go? What if I don't? So I love recommendations, especially Christian fiction book recommendations. So please, please, please drop your Christian fiction recommendations down below, because I would love to hear them. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.